Hard to believe some people have run all 35 years of the Broad Street Run. Joseph Farrell is among an elite group. He ran his first race in 1980, only his journey is a little different. This is all the 66-year-old is able to hear. Silence.
The gun went off, started to run.
Deaf since birth, but born to be a runner. Joseph tells me his dream is to run until he dies. Amy Jackman from the Deaf Hearing Communication Center interpreted our conversation.
You know, I've always been deaf. It's maybe a little bit different for hard of hearing people, but I've always been deaf. So I'm much more aware of the surroundings. You look around, you see people that have their watch, you know, they're ready to go. But I have to kind of rely on my eyes, and then as I see people moving, that's just how I know when it's time to start.
Every lap on this track at Crowell Park in Springfield, Delaware County brings him happiness and confidence. 7 times Joseph runs around this track 4 days a week, training for the next big race.
I'm really not worried about it. I'm not worried about Broad Street. I'm just going to focus on the finish line.
The journey to the finish line, much easier perhaps than his journey through life. Aside from being deaf, Joseph battled cancer and went through another surgery just weeks ago. His daughter Colleen, who is also deaf, runs alongside him at first.
What is it like when you get to the finish line and you meet up?
Wow. It's an amazing feeling, really. You know, we meet up and we compare our times, figure out who beat who, but it's always it's an amazing feeling.
One that Joseph has a lot of practice with.
You cross over that finish line and you're spent, but you had such a great time doing it.
It was a little bit harder than I expected.
Day after day, Russell Selkirk trains for the Philly Marathon at the North Penn YMCA in Lansdale. Conditioning himself for the 26.2-mile length means lots of weightlifting. You see, unlike most people racing this morning, Russ has to train his arms instead of his legs. His way of running changed on a September day in 2010.
I was behind a big work truck and looked into my rearview mirror just as a pickup truck slammed into the back of my car, sandwiched the car between the 2 trucks.
He was in the hospital for a week and then rehab at Penn Therapy and Fitness for 8 more weeks.
Just a little bit at a time. I mean, it's baby steps.
With no function below his knees, Russ uses a walker to get around. But this is what he's using during the race, a hand cycle.
It was really to challenge myself more than anything else.
His methods may be different, but one way or another, he plans to cross the finish line.
Did you ever think you could do this?
At first, no, but once I got through rehab and started seeing that I could get some functionality again, I figured I would be doing something. I just didn't know it would be doing marathons again.